Selenites. Tonight, we rest in the gentle story of Ruth, a tale of loyalty, kindness, and unexpected blessings. Find a comfortable position, close your eyes, and let this ancient story carry you into peaceful sleep. Take a deep breath in and slowly release. Our story begins in the time when judges ruled Israel. During the time when the judges ruled Israel, a famine came upon the land. Because food was scarce, a man named Elimelech left Bethlehem in Judah with his wife Naomi and their 2 sons. They traveled to the land of Moab to live there for a while. Elimelech died while they were in Moab, leaving Naomi alone with her 2 sons. The sons later married Moabite women. One was named Orpah, and the other was named Ruth. The family lived in Moab for about 10 years. Then both of Naomi's sons died. Naomi was left without her husband and without her children. Only her 2 daughters-in-law remained with her. When Naomi heard that the famine in Israel had ended and that food was again available, she decided to return to Bethlehem. She told Orpah and Ruth to go back to their families and build new lives. Orpah eventually returned to her people, but Ruth refused to leave Naomi. Ruth committed herself fully to Naomi, saying, "Don't ask me to leave you and turn back. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Wherever you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord punish me severely if I allow anything but death to separate us." Ruth chose to go with her to Bethlehem, leaving her homeland and people behind. When Naomi and Ruth arrived in Bethlehem, people recognized Naomi, but she no longer felt like the woman she once was. This led her to change her name to Mara, which means bitterness. Naomi felt deeply changed by her suffering and believed her life had been marked by loss. The 2 women were poor and had no means of support. It was the beginning of the barley harvest, so Ruth went out to the fields to gather leftover grain behind the harvesters. She happened to gather grain in a field that belonged to a man named Boaz, who was a relative of Elimelech. Boaz noticed Ruth and asked about her. When he learned who she was and heard of her loyalty to Naomi, he treated her kindly. He allowed her to gather freely in his fields, ensured her safety, and instructed his workers to leave extra grain behind for her. Ruth gathered grain all day and returned home with a large amount. Naomi was surprised and asked where she had worked. When Ruth told her it was in Boaz's field, Naomi recognized that Boaz was one of their family redeemers, a close relative who had the right to help their family. Later, Naomi sought long-term security for Ruth. She instructed Ruth to go to the thrashing floor where Boaz would be after the harvest. Ruth was to approach him quietly and make her request known. Ruth followed Naomi's instructions exactly. Boaz awoke during the night and discovered Ruth there. Ruth asked Boaz to take responsibility as her family redeemer. Boaz responded honorably. He acknowledged Ruth's request, but explained that there was another relative who was more closely related and had the first right to redeem Naomi's family. Boaz promised to settle the matter properly. The next day, Boaz met with the other relative at the town gate in the presence of witnesses. He explained Naomi's situation and the opportunity to redeem her family land. When the relative learned that redeeming the land also required marrying Ruth and continuing the family line, he declined. Boaz then publicly declared his intention to redeem Naomi's family and take Ruth as his wife. The elders and townspeople confirmed the agreement. Boaz married Ruth, and she became his wife. She later gave birth to a son. The women of Bethlehem rejoiced with Naomi. The child became a source of joy and restoration for her. Naomi helped raise the boy. The child was named Obed. Obed became the father of Jesse, and Jesse became the father of David, who would later become king of Israel. This is the story of Ruth, a story of loyalty that brought blessing, a story of kindness that opened doors, a story of faithfulness that led to rest. Ruth left everything she knew to follow Naomi, and in her faithfulness, she found unexpected provision. Boaz saw her character and chose to redeem her, and from this beautiful love story came the lineage of King David and ultimately the Messiah. Rest now, knowing that your faithfulness matters, your kindness is seen, and the Lord who guided Ruth is the same Lord who watches over you tonight. May you rest in the knowledge that you are seen, valued, and loved, just as Boaz redeemed Ruth. You have a Redeemer who watches over you with tender care. Sleep peacefully tonight under the shelter of his wings. Good night and God bless.